Hello everybody, welcome back to the FPS podcast. Today, Sweeps. Hello mate, good
Sam.
to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
I'm going on holiday, so I've been packing.
Oh yes, yeah you are, you're literally leaving later.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, just thinking about all sorts of stuff before I go away. But yeah, and other thing is as well, we need to do some changes here.
Oh yeah.
Before this evening.
We're at Slidehouse today, as you can see. The House of Slide. P-tile.
House of tiles.
Sheep. Sheep house. Chicken shed.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have we been in now?
We moved, blimey, when did I knock on his door? Well, we opened in...
It was Christmas time, right?
Yeah, was it
New Year?
It was beginning of December because it was the coldest day of the winter.
Yeah, it was.
And it was absolutely... Because there was Jack and Gary were sat in that corner. And I mean, I'm sure the Walkmen were saying, they're not exactly small, but they were freezing.
They were.
And
I think they had shorts on though. But...
Well, they've not been back yet.
Right.
They've not been back since, let's put it that way.
We'll change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I keep messaging him, but he's like, I think they're frightened at P-tile. Can't handle it.
I think that'll change now, because we've just lost the bank.
Well, personally, I wouldn't say we've lost the bank. I would say we've gained the corner.
For sure. It's an amazing corner now.
Well, I mean, for those of you that, I mean, I'm sure you could drop a clip or...
Oh yeah, insert clip.
Insert
here.
Clip here. We built, well, Steve, Zane and Bert together built the banking when we first got this place. And initially it was absolutely incredible and we just loved it. But the problem was, I think, over time with the heat and the cold and the fact that we didn't brace it enough underneath, which we'll put our hands up and say we didn't brace it enough. Unfortunately, it ended up dipping. And it was either the expanding foam underneath had expanded too much or we didn't put enough in, and then it started lowering. So we ended up going around the corner and it looked like you're on a roller coaster. It looked like you're on Big Dipper or what's that one at Blackpool called? Not Big Dipper, that other one, Railway one, and it was like that. And it wasn't consistent. When you were going into the corner, you could be 10 mil off line and you hit a different bump and your car would react completely different. And trying to run smooth trains around the banking just didn't happen eventually. It just ruined it. So we decided to take it out. And then,
it was good while it lasted though.
Yeah. I mean, it put us on the map. It put us on the map for doing something completely different. And I mean, we've both seen different tracks across the world that have tried to...
Yeah, it started popping up in Japan, didn't it? There was a few tracks having a go.
Yeah, there's a few others done it. So no, I mean, fair play to. I mean, for some it may, but it was also very... it was also very forgiving. You could go, and you know as well as I do, you could go into that corner flat out and pin it and pin it, and it didn't matter how hard you hit throttle, you got round. Now you've got to drive it. Yeah,
we can get close though now, can't we?
Yeah, and the trains now, there's something else.
Yeah, man.
He just puts a massive smile on your face. Yeah, it gives you a proper buzz, as you know.
Definitely.
Yeah,
this is my home track. I'm fairly local, but so lucky.
Yeah.
So lucky.
Yeah, well, we are. I mean, we have the biggest paper trial track out of Japan. You know, from Super G's similar, I think. I don't know. Super G might be bigger actually now. I don't know. I don't know what their measurements are.
Does look big.
But they're similar. But we've certainly got the biggest P-tile track in Europe. Yeah. There's no question. I mean, I know Edwin at Drifted is planning on building a P-tile track because I actually visited him when I was on holiday in Holland.
Of course did,
earlier in the year, and I know he's ordered some P-tile, and I've seen his facility, but I don't think it's going to be quite as big as this. But that'll be another P-tile track.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So no, but it is genuine Japanese, made in Japan P-tile. It's not vinyl. You know, it's not a copy. It's the genuine article. So it's. But it's so good, it's so consistent. I mean, we don't treat it, we don't touch it. We have a robotic hoover, Robert, that sits in the corner. Yeah. And I'll sit at home and I'll open my app. And every time he's at 100%, I'll press clean, and he'll clean the whole track without us even being here. So when we arrive, we're ready to drop our cars and run.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need any treatment. It's perfect just the way it is, and it's polished up over time, as you know. I mean, it's not as polished as it was when we were on our previous venue at Broad Street, which is about 10 minutes down the road. But I think we put that down to the Velinos, the 08Cs. They're not as obviously they're not as smooth because they've got tread on them.
Yeah.
So I think we put that down to that, but it still looks smooth on camera. It still looks shiny.
It's like glass.
Yeah. And it's something else. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's just odd because when you see the Japanese ones, they always look like they've got rolled corners. I don't know if they're polishing them.
No, I mean, from what I understand,
they've just had years of use.
I think it's use.
Yeah.
If you look at some points on here, where on our track, you can actually see it starting to happen. I don't know what causes it. I've not got a clue. But as that happens, I think the tiles would probably work better if there's got that little bit of, because obviously there's no edge. And I often think it's the edges of the tiles wearing away, just in the corners as cars run it. But you've got to think, when you watch you're watching Japan, they'll have 15, 20 cars every night of the week on that track, you know, and people literally pop in and have a skid and then go home.
Yeah.
I mean, I was fortunate enough a few years ago to go to Japan, and I met a guy out there, one of my friends called Mo, and he took me to an RC track. This is a little anecdote for you. This is one that will blow people's minds over here. I met him at a railway station in Japan. He picked me up in his Honda people carry. He took me to this industrial estate, and I was like, "Oh, aye, you've changed." But no, and it was a pitch black industrial estate, and there was this warehouse, and we pulled up outside this warehouse, and he got his overdose box out with his Garmin and his transmitter, and we walked up to this warehouse, and he opened the door and walked in and put the lights on. And I'm like, "What are you doing? There's nobody here." He said, "No, there's nobody here, just us." I said, "Right, okay." So I walked in, put his car down, put his battery in, and off we went. And is anybody coming? He said, "No." I said, "Well, what about locking up and stuff? You know, who looks after it?" He said, "Well, because crime's so low in Japan, they don't bother locking this venue anyway, this certain venue. It was never locked. And if you wanted to go and use it, what you did on the way out, there was a letterbox, a box with a pile of envelopes next to it. What you did, you put 1,000 yen into the envelope and you put it in the letterbox. And you turned lights off on your way out and shut door."
Like an honesty box. Oh, wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was just like, really? So literally anybody can come at any time and use this venue, and as long as they leave money, the owners are quite happy. Yes.
That's brilliant.
It's like, just, can you imagine doing that? Can you imagine leaving that door open? I mean, no offence to I mean, it just, the ethos, as I dribble on about it with real drifting, about the ethos of drifting being respect. And that to me was just, it just showed how different the culture and the ethos is in Japan compared to the UK. You know as well as I do, you couldn't leave your back door open. Never mind somewhere like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, where we were, there was literally, you walked in, there was nothing. Sorry, it's my battery charged. And there was literally nothing in the venue that was worth pinching or taking away, but it was the fact that you could just walk.
And we're back.
Yeah.
How did you find, obviously you come from real drifting. How did you find RC drifting?
I found it in 2013. And there's a guy called Paul Smokey Smith who drives for Team Japspeed, who the majority of people out there will probably know Paul. At the time he was running an S15. And I heard that they were RC drifting on a Friday night in an office in Spalding. And obviously I live 10 minutes that way and Spalding's 10 minutes that way. So I thought, I'll have to go and have a look at that. And I walked into this business centre, which you know as Broad Street.
Oh, it was at Broad Street?
It was at Broad Street.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But this is pre us going mental with the scenery and stuff.
Insert picture of Broad Street.
Bing. And but I'll send you a picture of Broad Street, how we used to do it.
Okay.
It was literally an office building that the tables had been taken out of, and it was those red carpet tiles.
Yeah.
That was it.
Wow, okay.
That's all there was in the room. Yeah. We'd literally go in and we'd use that, I can't remember what it's called now, road rail edging.
Yeah.
And we just built a kidney track, and that was it. And we didn't do anything. They just put the cars down and ran, and I'm just like, oh, I fancy a bit of this. But then the thing that put me off at the time was everything was CS, not rear-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive wasn't even a thing really at the time. So it was CS. CS, for those that don't know, it's basically the rear-wheel drive, the four-wheel drive, but the rear wheels drive quicker than the front wheels. So that when you're going around a corner, the front wheels are turning slower, so that you still get the effect of drifting. But this is before the advancement of gyros. You know, for all of us now, we buy, you know, if you're starting out, you buy it on a Sinky, and then you buy a V4, and if you're really posh and clever and like playing with your transmitter, you buy a Futaba G550. But at the time, gyros were not very good. They were crap. So everybody ran CS, because I mean, James at Pace, he'll tell you about Soul RC, which was at over towards Northampton way at the time, and again another carpet track. And there was no rear-wheel drives, but I didn't really fancy four-wheel drive. To me, that was rally cars.
Not realistic.
Not realistic.
No.
So at the time, MST, Max Speed Technology, had just brought, yeah, I know, all right, sheep. Max Speed Technology just brought out the FXX-D, which was a rear-wheel drive, front motor rear-wheel drive chassis.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sod this, I'm having one of them.
And this is still carpet?
This is still on carpet.
Yeah.
So Paul bought one and I bought one at the same time. We both got them within the same period of time. And we were the only two people with the rear-wheel drive RC drift car at the time.
Still no gyro?
Yeah, the MST came with a gyro.
Oh, they do them built-in ones, don't they? Yeah.
It was a square, horrible thing that you would never use now. I mean, RMXs come with them still to this day, don't they? Them square ones.
Yeah.
But it worked. But then when we went to visit Mito and James at Soul RC, everyone's running CS. Everyone's running like a rocket ship. And there's me and Paul just trying to keep out of the way, basically, because we were so slow compared to CS cars. You imagine you put a CS car on here, you've seen when it came other week, Alan.
Yes. He was flying around when he got it, wasn't he?
But that's basically a CS.
Yeah.
Well, you imagine them on carpet.
Oh, God, yeah.
MST Silver Dots on
just racing
on Prima GT carpet.
Yeah.
You know, at the time it was to me it was all a bit quick, but rear-wheel drive. But then obviously, as we all know in RC world now, there isn't CS anywhere. Basically,
no, you can't.
I think Simon Baker's got one, but he's an old fart. But no, I mean Dale came to Broad Street, won a competition driving a CS car.
I think I've seen a picture of that.
Yeah, they sent me the picture of the photo. With the insert picture.
Insert picture here.
It's going to be a lot. You're going to be editing for hours, brother.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So that's how it started. Yeah, I went to Broad Street and got the bug, and then bought it. Then if they weren't open on a Friday, or if Paul was busy, I'd shoot across to Northampton when I could, and go to Soul RC, and then ultimately. I had a break in the middle because we lost Broad Street for a while when Paul I think the venue ended up changing ownership or something, I don't know, but we ended up with not having it. And I was getting frustrated because I couldn't find the time to go to Soul RC enough. So I kept pestering the guy that was Paul's contact originally. I kept pestering him, saying, look, I'd like to use that room again. And ultimately he said, yeah, go on then. Let's do it, yeah, you can do it. And that's when we said, then I rang him up and said, look, can we paint the walls? That's when we painted it black, and then can we change the floor? And he's like, yeah, you can do what you want with it. So that's when, just pre-COVID, we looked into getting P-tile, and then it took me 3 months to track them down. Then we ordered the P-tile, and as you well know, then P-tile went down, and the rest of it was just snowballed into dolls' houses, so that we had scenery, we had that raised banking, I made them gazebos that every track seems to have now.
I've got one at home.
You've got one at home. I mean, I made them at home, and I had a vac forming machine myself at home at the time. So I made a mould out of wood to make gazebos.
Yeah.
So Ronin, I know Scott's got some at Ronin. John's got some at MDS. We've got some here that we don't use anymore. They're downstairs now. And I think Phil might have one up at Lincoln Drift Spot.
Yeah.
I'm mentioning these other tracks as well, so that you're not thinking this is pure and simply a Slidehouse thing, because obviously we're all in this together. You guys, us guys, do you know what I mean?
Community.
And when it comes to, I mean, we did Broad Street to our ability, but when you go to NRD, what Dan and Gareth have done at NRD at Wakefield, just another level. Insert picture here, please.
Oh, yeah. That place is a model village.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I'm just gutted I've not had a chance to go up yet, but I will get a chance at some point. But yeah, fair play to Gareth and Dan. They set the bar for RC drift tracks, and you'll see by that picture, it's just...
The effort they've put into that place is unreal.
It's a must-see.
Yeah. It looks beautiful on camera.
Yeah. No, I need to get up, but it's finding time, yeah.
So going back to Broad Street,
I
started messaging the Slidehouse page, pestering it during lockdown.
Yeah.
And so I came into it, Peter was down.
Yeah.
He was down. Yeah. And that was my first view of it.
Experience of it.
Yeah, straight on Peter.
But you didn't come from real drifting background, did you?
No, I know nothing of real drifting.
I
didn't know who you were. Everyone knows who you are, and I'm like, you tell me about drifters, and I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Because you had an S13 show car.
Yeah.
Which automatically made me think you were a drifter.
Yeah.
Because everyone within it, well, the majority of people was an S13 do one thing with it, and that's drift it, apart from show car. So when I saw you with an S13, I was like, oh, where do you drift? And I was like, I don't. It's like, what the really? You got an S13? Are you? No, not interested. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But again, it's back to respect. I respect you for having a show car that's an S13 and you don't drift it. Whatever, that's not for me to say. You should drift it. I won't drift one now, too much money.
That was what it was.
Yeah, it's too much money.
Couldn't afford to break it.
But I come from I still am. Still.
Oh yeah, of course.
Still doing it.
Yeah.
Still doing it. Yeah. Yeah, but no, that's Broad Street was, and then obviously we lost Broad Street in July last year. Yeah, we lost Broad Street.
Sad times.
Yeah, because
I was heartbroken, man.
Yeah.
When you told me, we was all sat in front of the church across the road, all having a laugh, as we did. Oh man, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I thought that was the end. I was like, see you later, then I'll delete you all off Facebook, call it a day.
Well, I think we all. I mean, there was some that were regulars that were, that's it, we're done, we're finished. I'm like, not if I've got anything to do with it, because, I mean, I know it's geeky, and we're all geeks. Nobody's going to deny.
Including you watching this.
Yeah,
you're a geek.
No one's going to deny that we're all geeks and we all do this, but it's also an escape. It is for me.
Yeah.
I get out of the house, I get away from wife and kids, and I come up here for a few hours on a Tuesday and occasional Friday, and then as much as I can on a Saturday when we've got an open day, and I switch off from everything in the world, and I come here and I put my car down, and we do just sit there giggling like girls.
Oh God, yeah.
We just sit there giggling, just taking the mick out of each other constantly.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't get that anywhere else.
No.
I used to run events where I could do that, like real drift events where I could do that, and I would do that, and people knew me for that, but I've now moved it into doing this. But it's back to putting smiles on people's faces. It's like Robin. Robin's travelled all the way from Indonesia with his wife on holiday into the UK. And he messaged me April time saying, I'm coming to the UK, can I come to Slidehouse? And I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You do though, don't you? When people message you and say, oh yeah, I'm coming.
Bit of a dreamer.
Yeah, and you think, yeah, maybe not. Anyway, bugger me, last Friday he turned up. And he absolutely rocked the joint with his GT86. He's coming back tonight.
Yeah.
But it just shows you that as small as, we're in the middle of nowhere here in Spalding, aren't we? It's flat as it's flat as anything. There's nothing around. There's no big cities. Peterborough's an hour away, 45 minutes away, and that's the nearest thing we've got. And yet we're still pulling here.
Yeah.
We might get 8 or 10 of us on a Tuesday, and then on a Saturday when we have an open day, we'll get 20 people in here. Despite the fact that we're in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, we lost Broad Street, and then obviously he told me initially we were supposed to get 3 months' notice. That was because that was in the contract. And he gave us 6 weeks. Remember me saying, we've got 6 weeks and we're out. So then we automatically had to think, shit, we've got so much stuff. in that place, and then we had to get rid of it.
Just having thoughts of clearing the place out.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. You imagine we spent, this pea tile's not cheap, and there we were with 100 square metres of pea tile that we couldn't do anything with. Thankfully, they got used again at MDS with John.
Yeah.
So they got used up there for a while. And then, that last day, that clearing up, that was horrible. I mean, going in there and pulling them tiles up and
I've got a clip
all that shit out.
of you doing the last lap. Insert clip here.
Was it me?
It's so sad.
Did I do the last?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But that reminds me of Rockingham. I mean, I used to run events at Rockingham Motor Speedway when it was Rockingham Motor Speedway, and I always remember it was Ian Walpole, black guy in a black BMW. He did last lap at that. So it's funny that you remember me doing last lap there. I remember him doing last lap at Rockingham, just as sun was setting, and somebody got a photograph of him, and the sun was just setting over his car, going around out of paddock at Rockingham. Those real drifters, you'll know what I mean. If you've not searched for, oh no, it's all gone. No, it's gone because it doesn't matter. I was thinking of a Facebook page, but I changed it to a different name. So.
Oh, okay.
So you can go back, but you've got to look on Flagship Clothing. If you go back,
see the link in the description below.
All right. If you go to Flagship Clothing and go back quite a way, that's what I used to use for Rockingham Drift Days, and you'll see because I copied the Mayhan layout like down to like within a metre. I googled and I measured how long the straight was. I measured how wide the bend was, and I measured what the run-up should be, and I measured it like to within a metre, and I actually laid that layout on the Rockingham Oval, so it was as perfect as you could get to the real thing in Mayhan in Japan, including the wall.
I remember seeing a video of a wall. Yeah,
that was my doing, unfortunately. Because the first time we did it, we didn't have any barriers, and people were stood on the wall going like this, going, "Come on!"
Oh God!
And I was just waiting for somebody's head to get knocked off with a spoiler. Because there's a famous clip somewhere with that 350's head. And I was always waiting for that to happen at Rockingham on that very first day. Thankfully, it never happened. And then they said, "You can't do that, Mark." So we ended up putting barriers in to stop people getting right up to the wall, because it was dodgy.
Sketchy.
It was sketchy. Understatement. And then, yes, I don't know. We lost it in July. And then I spent, every single time I drove anywhere at all locally, I was just scouting for a building. I mean, Lincolnshire, it's farming land around here. It's all arable, it's all farming. So there's barns everywhere, but they've all got stuff in them. They've either got machinery in them, they've got crops in them, they've got straw in them, they've got whatever in them. I'm trying to find an empty barn. I found one. I found another chicken shed. You remember up at Eckington? But it didn't have a door on it at all, and it was a mud floor. And then I priced up how much.
I remember the picture.
I priced up how much for concrete, and that was an instant.
Yeah.
That ain't happening. And then I was travelling on Main Road, which runs at back at farm here, and I spotted this place as I was taking the girls to a dance class. And I've told you this story numerous times, and I thought, I'm sure that's disused. So I literally drove past and knocked on the guy's door and explained what we did. Cut a long story short.
Ta-da!
Slidehouse. Yeah, because that's a different. That's another podcast. How we ended up being here. We could show the pictures of. I mean, if you want to, we've got pictures of how it was when we got it. And I'll send you that video of it when it went.
Yeah,
to this. Yeah.
Best move we ever made.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's average at best, as Zane would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, average at best.
Yeah, it's our little bit of Japan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Especially now we're minimalist with the tape.
Yeah. I mean, it was something that James from Pace always said. I remember him saying, because somebody commented the other day about scenery and stuff.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
And I mean, fair play to Dan and all that, and it absolutely looks amazing. It does look like a scaled village that you could drift around. However, when you watch RC Vega in Japan or any other circuit in Japan, you'll notice that they have literally zero. They have tape and they have a bit of Tetsujin. They'll have a bit of Tetsujin barrier here and there, and that's it. So we're not completely minimal, we're not completely bare, but we've actually kept it to an absolute bare minimum so that it leaves the options wide open. We started using masking tape for marking the track where we can. If there is a position where we need to put a barrier in, we'll put a barrier in. But it makes things, we've found that if you don't have a cut through, or if you don't, we go to some tracks and if you crash, or if somebody crashes, that's it. It's going to take you another 30, 45 seconds to catch up to the train or whatever. Here, you can literally cut across track and you're straight on someone's door again, and then immediately you're back into a 4, 5, 6, 20 car train, which is the idea. Obviously the main sections of the track, like the pit lane and stuff, obviously we have to make them solid. But yeah, minimalistic. No, it was James that said, if it's got a crane, I'm going home. And then who is it? I can't think who it was. It might have been...
It's someone about Japan, wasn't it? If they see a track with a crane.
Yeah, but that was what James said, that if people in Japan see a track and it's a crane, they automatically think it's a toy car place, not an RC track.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
We've just killed all toy cranes in the UK.
Well, no. If that's what you want to do, use it for a clipping part, you do that. That's not how, it's back to respect. If somebody wants to run a crane, run a crane.
Can we get a crane?
We've got one downstairs, haven't we?
Well, we have, yeah.
Anybody want to buy a crane? No, I'm kidding. It's them little detail.
Yeah.
Little details.
Each track's their own, isn't they?
Yeah. Somebody that's heavily into Japanese style of drifting said, please don't put any more scenery down. And I nearly messaged him saying, do you know where I can buy a crane? just to get a reaction. Just to get a reaction. But I thought, no, I better not, because this guy who I'm talking about is quite serious, yeah, so I thought, no, I better not. Oh. But no, I did think, for me, internally, I was chuckling like a baby.
Yeah.
Where do I buy a crane from? Yeah. So we've kept it basic.
Yeah, I love it. You don't even notice that there's nothing there. When you're on the line and the tape's on the outside of you, it might as well be a barrier. Yeah. You just don't notice.
Yeah. But it allows you to make mistakes as well. You run off an edge at track, who cares? Yeah. Doesn't matter. If you're in a train, who gives a shit? If it means you get a 15-car train instead of a 3-car train, yes, please.
And it makes track changes, they're almost instant. They're the same day.
Oh, well, we did it the other week, didn't we, this one? Well, obviously, we lost the banking.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we changed the layout, and it took us a while to do the banking, as you see by the photos.
Oh God, photo! I can't wait to fucking edit this.
I'm doing this on purpose. I'm searching smart. I'm going to keep doing it. Insert photo here.
Insert photo of me editing here.
Oh, honestly, you're going to get sick of it.
Oh.
Yeah, but it'll be the best podcast ever.
Me and Danny, we came down last Saturday. We was here early, and
that's right.
You'd messaged me the night before saying we could do with a little bit of a change here, a little bit of change. We'd done it before anyone turned up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's masking tape. Yeah. And it just peels up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't leave a residue.
Easy.
Yeah. We're going to do some after this podcast. We're going to do a couple of bits of markers. There's a tight spot where everybody bunches up and trains aren't working, so we are going to flip it around so that it works. Yeah, better. But it's all about improving it all the time. Yeah, it's all about improvements. Yeah.
Should we talk about that?
No, I'm going to flip this and ask you some questions.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to flip it. How did you get an interest in coming here?
Hi, Ross.
Oh, hi, Ross.
How's it going? Yeah, good, thanks. We're just doing a bit of a podcast at the minute.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. Right, sorry.
How did you find out about RC drifting?
I'd seen it on YouTube a few times, years, like 5-10 years back, and always thought, yeah, that's cool. That is really cool. And I'd had a go when I was a kid. My dad bought me I can't even remember what it was, RC car, and we had a local track, car pit and fire hose. And I'd always liked RC. And then lockdown happened. I'm just twiddling my thumbs. And it just all fell together. But Banzai, what are they, the FTX Banzai, whoa, that is a gateway drug of a car, because...
Don't buy one.
Well, yeah, but 2 years down the line, here we are, and it's pretty serious. But yeah, that was it. I got it, lockdown, convinced a couple of mates to get them, so we could just, I think for a start, we were just fucking around in my front room.
Yeah.
And they were good fun. And then you know what it's like, you're like, oh, how can this be better? And then YD2.
So what did you do? Did you Google RC tracks to find Slidehouse then? How did you do that?
I think I found there's a UK directory
Yep.
for RC drifting.
Mm-hmm. On Bookface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I just saw, I'll go on there, see if there's any tracks local. And literally couldn't be any luckier.
Yeah.
Local track.
Slidehouse.
Yeah. And that was it. I was like, right, Facebook message, when are you open, come on. And I think I got it down to the day.
Yeah.
And the first day you were back open. Officially, after lockdown.
Officially, well, of course.
Yeah.
We would not meet during lockdown, of course. It's illegal. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. Met you guys and...
See, I thought you were pre-lockdown.
No, that was it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were pre-lockdown.
And I had my YD2 by the time lockdown finished.
And then as soon as we opened.
Yeah, it was it. That was just snowballed.
Yeah.
Yeah, never look back.
Now we can't get rid of you.
Yeah. You know, the missus hates it. Shit turning up every other day at home. Yeah.
What have you ordered now? How much was that?
I don't know if you've noticed, but it got pretty serious because, you know, like, there's a podcast and a YouTube channel, and it's like, oh, fuck, this is slowly taking over.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, met you guys, and it's... I don't think I could have had a better start. I think if I lived somewhere else, and there had been a carpet track local, then things might have been different. But to come here and unknowingly have one of the hardest surfaces to learn on has really made, I think it's made a big improvement in how I've come on.
Yeah, because we all know you learn how to tune your cars on this surface or any hard surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the calibre of driving here is insane.
Well, it's all right.
No.
It's all right.
It is, for the UK standards.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, if you got to keep up.
Yeah, but then, but what I don't want is people to be put off. By when people turn up, I mean, no offence, I mean, Ross has just rocked up, and Ross has not been doing it long, but it's like people like Ross, when we get behind them, they pull off and get out at the way. It's like, no, don't do that. I want to follow you and let them get used to having somebody sat on the door.
Yeah.
You know, just give them that bit of space that they need, because, you know, potentially they're going to make that mistake. But anyone's welcome. We don't care what you drive, well, as long as it's not four-wheel drive. Turn up, put your car down, let's go do some trains. And I don't care where they're from, what they've got. Yeah.
I remember it being very welcoming.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long before the piss started being took out, you know.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But one of the main things that kept me in it is the community.
Yeah.
I've done motorsport before, and it's harsh. No one wants to help each other. There's so many secrets.
Horrible.
But this is the complete opposite. Everyone's just willing to help you, and they want you to be mid-train with them.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's like rail drifting. Well, let's not go there.
No, okay. Apparently not.
That's another podcast.
Oh, okay. I'll just make this. You want to talk about it?
What am I talking about?
You can't, this thing.
This one?
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah.
Well, this is my, I've always had an MST. Well, I've had everything else in between. But I've still got the FXXD that I talked about in the podcast earlier. I've still got that at home. And it's sat on my car at home, in the garage. It's completely different to how it was when I bought it. I don't think, some of it's still original, but most of it's gone. But that's just sat there, and that'll never go. That'll be there forever. till the day I die.
Memento.
Yeah, that's my first ever rear-wheel drive drift car. And then this one is my MSC MRX, which isn't everybody's cup of tea. Because it's the only reason I bought this one is because it's got like a winter's style diff.
Like a quick change.
Yeah, it's like a quick change at the back. It's not that quick. It's easier to change pinion than it is to change gears in back, but it's the fact that it's very similar with its gearbox at the back. The front end's basically an RMX, which is quite common. The back end's still RMX apart from gearbox, but it's basically a it's an MSC, and it's fully tuned for those that are not into RC, or fully hopped up as you would call it. Runs Acuvance ESC, Acuvance motor, GoPro, servo, V4 gyro, which is from Yokomo. Our control tyres officially are top line, but most of us run Valino 08Cs, tag Valino International in the just so that he sees it. And I've changed the layout a little bit. I've changed the setup to other people, but I like it. It's not very fast. It's not as quick as the new RDX, which is what all you guys use. But I don't care, because I'm happy and I'm confident, and it's consistent, and I can drive it consistently without issues. Addiction body shell, painted by myself. Sticker set. It's an original Slidehouse set, but I've chopped it down so it's not got all the livery on it. Yeah, no lights in it, no LEDs or anything. It's just what you see is what you get, and I drop it and run.
Have you smoked the windows?
I put tints on it. Yeah.
What, like tint film?
Yeah, tint film. Yeah. Yeah, wrap up neck stuff. Yeah, because I always found if you spray it, it's not very consistent.
Oh, okay.
And it tends to splatter a little bit, unless you've got an airbrush and you're an expert like Keith, Mr. Body Shell Man.
Can't wait.
Yeah. This one, this is a shell I bought from Malaysia. And it cost me an arm and a leg.
Dreamland?
Dreamland RC, yeah, RC Dreamland in Malaysia. So the roof's airbrushed, the roof spoiler's airbrushed, the Toyo tyres, I'll tag Toyo. Hi Sarah. Hi Barry. I'll tag Toyo, yeah. But no, it's all, apart from the stickers, the body shell itself's airbrushed. You know, even these little tiny bits here, it's all airbrushed.
Love it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It looks pretty good going around. It's for sale if anybody wants to buy it. Drop me a DM.
Danny wants to buy it.
I know Danny does, but Danny's tight. Don't show the front headlight. There's a bucket missing. Don't show the front headlight. There's a bucket missing. Yeah. But yeah, it's... but it just keeps us out of mischief, doesn't it, Sam? That's what it does.
Yeah.
Overdose body pins. Can be a pin in the bum, but it doesn't fall off. There's no battery in it at the moment, but you get the idea. All aluminium.
Very nice.
Overdose shock absorbers, but yeah, you'll see that. Those of you that are into real drifting will recognise that as very similar to a Winters with the two drop gears. So the shaft comes right through the bottom, goes up to the top, then goes in, and the bevel drive gear for the diffs in the back instead of the front. Yeah. I mean, it don't make any difference whatsoever to the performance. It's just a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a gimmick. Yeah, but no, it works. Yeah, I like it. I like the technology and the idea that it's copied from a Winters diff, a real drift car. Yeah. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right then, are you going to go through these questions?
We've got a few questions.
Did they know it was me, or was it just a random?
I'd kept it quiet.
Right,
I didn't say who it was.
Right, okay, good job in it, really.
Yeah.
You'd have had some right dodgy people messaging. Oh, just noticed Ross is looking at that flyer that we had produced ready for Modified Nationals.
Yeah.
Put the... Sam's just about to put a screenshot here of the QR code, which will send you to the RC directory, which will show you every single RC track across the UK, which is what Sam did when he went and found this place. I actually look after one. Well, I look after it. A Google Map one, so you can actually see where everywhere is. Yeah, across the UK. Depends where you are. But drop a comment in the bottom, and either Sam or me will pick it up and tell you where your nearest track is, or we'll give you a few pointers. If you've got any questions about RC drifting, please don't hesitate, because that's what Sam's doing these podcasts for, just to put it out there.
We're so lucky in the UK. So lucky. Right. Got one here from Scale Drift.
Yeah.
When are we coming to Bracknell?
When are we going to Bracknell?
Yeah. I would like to go down when they do a comp.
Yeah, I'd like to go and have a look.
Yeah.
Because we were very fortunate. Scale Drift and Bracknell RC are at Bracknell, obviously. They actually, hi Josh, hi Nathan. We actually used their surface at Modified Nationals at Lincoln, at a national car show. Thank you very much, boys. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was mint.
And thankfully, we were able to help them with the tyre choice, weren't we? Because we had some LF5 T's where they'd been told to use C's, which were dusting the track up and stuff. So they've now got an absolutely incredible control tyre. So it's mint. Yeah. But no, I desperately want to get down there. Yep. It's quite a trek. And
it's a trek.
It's finding time. But no, we'll get there eventually.
Definitely. Definitely got to be done.
We'll have a trip down, Josh, don't worry. We'll just rock up and go, hiya! And you'll be like, what the? Yeah. Go on. Just rattle through them. Just go through them all. Come on, let's do it.
We've got best way to get into the hobby. We'll have a quick fire round.
All right, okay. Best way to get into the hobby. Visit your local track.
Definitely.
Speak to the guys at the track. Yep. Speak to the owner. So potentially you've got John at MDS, you've got Scott at Ronin, you've got anyone here, Sam or myself, or I was going to say Zane. No, kidding. Yeah, just visit your local track.
Everywhere.
You've got Phil at Lincoln. There's a track at Lincoln. Phil Donington. Speak to Phil. Phil will help you. What else have we got?
Essex lot?
Essex, Andy Brunton, Peter Gray. They'll help you out. When it comes to, that's how you get into it. Go to your local track. When it comes to cars and chassis, RC Kit Out, Asbo RC. Pace RC, James at Pace. Those are just three that you could contact. Yeah. Links in the description, presumably. Yeah. Try them, guys.
Is more expensive better?
Is more expensive better? No. Not at all. Not for me. I mean, I could run this. I mean, I've spent way too much money on all these shiny alley parts on the front end, back end. These suspension parts, for me, unless they are designed, those are literally just replacements of plastic. Same with the toe straps. Waste of money. I'm not going to lie. The only parts that are expensive are like the hubs. You can get hubs which are different. You can get hubs which are different on the rear, depending on overdose, for example. Not so much MST, but they are different. And then they are worth the investment. But again, it depends what your budget is. If your budget's low, buy an RDX. It's plastic, and then gradually you could increase that. You can tune it and buy parts for it. But a lot of them are pure and simply you're just replacing plastic with carbon. So not necessarily, no.
Counterpoint. I'm gonna be controversial here and say electronics.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Electronics. I was thinking chassis. Electronics, 100%.
Yeah. You buy once. You're done.
Yeah, buy once.
Yeah. So many people come in and they've bought a hack gear.
Yeah, terrible.
Whatever gyro.
Offense.
Yeah.
No, but invest in electrics rather than chassis.
Yeah.
That's the advice we would give. Servo, gyro, motor, ESC.
Yeah, and then you can drive anything.
Then they'll go in any chassis.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what they are. You can use them over and over again in any chassis.
Upgrade the chassis around the electronics.
Yeah.
Just upgrade or whatever. Yeah.
And for me, the Accuvance Rad and the XX are the ESC to go to. The main feature for me is the anti-blow them up.
Reverse polarity.
Polarity protection. If you plug your battery in the wrong way, in just about any other ESC, it'll go pop straight away, and it's rubbish.
Done.
I've done it with this. I did it on Tuesday.
You did?
I plugged in my ESC wrong way. Little red light came on, said, "You plugged your battery in the wrong way, Mark." And I plugged it back in, right way around, perfect. Easy mistake to make, and we've all done it. We've all blown Toros and we've blown Jarvises up just by plugging battery in the wrong way. Silly mistake, but there you go. Yeah.
Right, this one's a bit of a longer one. Do you think the new RC drifting leaderboard will cause atmosphere between clubs and other drivers? I personally like it, and I think this is something in the UK we're going to build on.
But do I think it will affect clubs' atmospheres and relationships between each other? Personally, I don't give a monkey's. I'm not going to lie. I come to RC drifting for fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And whether it's competition or whether it's trains, whether it's random tandems day, I really don't give a hoot. Ultimately, there isn't at the moment a championship that would crown a champion. The problem is there are lots of drivers out there that are incredible, but they don't do competitions. Now, if you don't do competitions, how are you going to get yourself on the leaderboard? I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, and I praise Josh and Nathan for doing it. My other thought is, though, if you don't run competitions and you just do trains and stuff like they do at Manji, like we do here, I mean, all right, we do have competitions, but we don't live stream it, we do it for a laugh. Yeah, atmosphere, if it does change people's atmospheres, then they shouldn't be doing it.
No, I can see the point where it changes from having a laugh to being too serious.
Well, we've had this discussion, haven't we, about when we did that competition here at Slidehouse that time. That was like base level. Let's have a laugh. We're just here having a giggle. Random judges, no live stream, points are out of 10 each, add them up into that for me is where I want to be. It's similar to Drift Cup, those of you that know real drifting, similar to Drift Cup. You come, you have a laugh, you leave with a smile, regardless where you finish. When it gets serious, more serious above that, it's different. Then it gets different. But I think on the day of the competition, yes, it could get serious. But when you walk away from it, you're still going to be drifting with them next week. So there's no reason for any bullshit. And I would hate for it to do that. And I don't think it will, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah.
We have started, comps have started creeping back in. I think it's brilliant. I've seen just here at our track, the actual level of the drivers there's been a jump.
It's because, you have to learn the lines. It's as simple as that. I mean, we always have clipping points down for people to run. It does improve driving level. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt. It does help, yeah. What's that say? Your car questions, your car chassis electrics, first chassis. Yeah.
That one was mine.
Favourite position in a train, lead.
Yeah?
If I'm honest, lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to be at front, set the pace. And deliberately, who was it? Steve Dixon was here on Saturday. Yeah. And I rocked up and I led. And he just turned around to me after and says, well, can't you read all the trains? I said, why is that? He says, well, because you run the right line. Because I run a wide line every time and let people chase me. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I like leading. Just setting the pace. Yeah. So I don't mind. But then I find the challenge. I love the challenge of being behind. Yep. But I tend to get a bit aggressive, as you well know. I will tend to push a little bit too much and try with a little bit too much proximity. But yeah, I'm not bothered as long as I'm in a train. I don't give a shit as long as it's big. Yeah. Bigger the better. Yeah.
I'm probably second. I like being second. Third is always so hard.
It is, but that's why we're changing the track.
Oh no, I think any train being third in the train is the worst.
But tell me that tomorrow when we've changed this line.
All right. Okay.
Car maintenance schedule. Put it in my box.
wait till it breaks.
Get here next time, take it out of the box, drive it. That's it.
Brilliant.
I'm sorry, but that's it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm once in a blue. If I do have to strip anything, I'll put bearings in I'll soak my bearings and clean them and then put them back in again. But unless I break it now, I'll be honest, I just rock up and drive.
Maintenance. I might take it to work and blow it down with the airline.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good maintenance.
I know Zane does a lot more.
Does he?
Yeah, from what I understand.
Really?
Well, did you see that? He put that video up, didn't he, the other day with his car and his bearings and his
Oh, he'd soaked them through,
What's
hadn't
it
he?
called? What
Like
are they
brake cleaner?
called? No.
Oh, ultrasonic tank?
Ultrasonic, yeah, I've got one of them. I do mine. If I've got mine, I'll put them in an ultrasonic tank, get all the crap out of them, and then soak them in WD-40. And then oil them afterwards and drop them back in.
Remember that.
Ultrasonic.
Yeah.
Poshes. Recent changes to my tuning car. I've gone stiffer on back end. I've gone a bit harder on back end.
Oh, this is something you've recently heard, is it?
Let's not go there. Yeah, I've stiffened up my back end. Yeah, it works. It seems to work. On this surface, anyway. I mean, it could be different wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've stiffened it up a little bit. And it seems to be, it does actually seem to be a little bit more punchy.
After the word spread, I built up some solid links. I just took my shocks off and built up 2 ball ends with a turnbuckle. Oh no, it did.
Yeah, until you initiated, it went shh.
No. I can't believe how well the car drove. It shouldn't work.
Try it, boys and girls.
Yeah, literally, get rid of your rear shocks, 2 turnbuckles. Weird.
Try it.
Yeah, I was astounded. All right, it wasn't.
Wait for the Roddy roll. Not. Go on.
Oh, Ethan Gibbison.
How does a gyro actually affect the car? Well, the gyro, the hand-to-eye coordination for you controlling that car at that speed is impossible without a gyro, basically. As the car was to go sideways, you would not be physically able to go into opposite lock quick enough to catch it. So that's what your gyro does. And it stops you from spinning, because if you try running one of these without a gyro, it's impossible.
Yeah.
That's what the gyro's for, basically, so make sure that you can actually drive a real drive car on a slippy surface. Yeah.
And they bamboozle people that come from racing.
Yeah, they're just like, what's a gyro? Well, not so much.
They try and drive it, and they're just straight into a wall because they're trying to counter steer.
Yeah, with the controller where you don't have to. Yeah, sorry, I'm making a noise.
I don't
know. That must have been an answer to something.
That was. Who would you like to see?
All right.
You do one with.
Oh, I might have been at the top of
You were top of the list.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
Love your RX-7, Sean. Insert picture here.
Yeah, that was Danny. Who do you want to see on the podcast? Oh, love you, Danny.
Where's your car?
My car? Oh, it's in my car. Yeah. Insert picture here. I think that is all the questions. I've got a couple.
Oh, who do you like to twin with?
Oh, and SWEEPS. Bert is ultimate leader of track. He was until he got quick.
Until he got an RDX. What car do you drive?
I drive a RDX.
I've got one now. Trains or competition? Trains all day long.
Yeah.
Trains.
Yeah.
Surface, P-tile.
Yeah.
Go-to chassis, personally, MRX. It's up to you. We'd like to see it at the National Championship. Anyway, we'll move on. Plastic would you rather a plastic fantastic chassis that works or a bling chassis? Plastic.
This question
Plastic.
is you pre-RDX.
Is it?
Yeah.
From when? June? These questions I sent you previously?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Shall I go on? Plastic fantastic that works or a bling? Yeah, plastic for me, personally. If it works.
Seeing Dan Chapman in his Plastic Fantastic. First time I saw him at Slidehouse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan can drive anything and tune anything. It works. We miss you, Dan.
Yeah.
DC, you need to come back, brother. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday. 24th August. Just timeline.
Yeah, fantastic.
Insert a picture here. Dan Chapman.
This is the one that me and Bert went, yeah, we won't talk about this.
Oh, no, it's all right, okay.
I'm saving this for a special person.
Is that going to be a podcast job, another podcast?
No, I think this is going to be a certain person question.
He ain't going to answer that. He won't do a podcast on that. What do you think RC drifting will be like in 5 years? I ain't got a clue. That's from Depressed something Collie. I don't know, mate. Let's hope we've got a sea of P-tail tracks around the country.
Yeah, I can't see there being any major progressions in chassis. Oh, they'll get a bit better, but there's nothing we're missing, is there?
Can you do a kickflip, Sam?
No.
No, never tried. Do you see our competition at RC drifting make it into drone? No, I don't.
No.
No, there's not enough of us.
No.
How long have you been into sheep, Sam?
Fairly recently.
You can't see him at Sable here, but he's got wellies on.
Brilliant. Sweeps, thank you very much. This has been
my
brilliant.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
No, thank you, Sam. No, keep up the good work.
Yeah, this is awesome.
FPS, RC Drift Media. Go follow me on YouTube.
All right, see you all trackside soon.
Love you, bye.